Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Haut Beyleron with me CWATTY here in Farming Simulator 22. It is a new morning, it is October now here in game. I completed my fertilizing contracts yesterday and have collected those. I then returned my fertilizer to the store because it was leased, so I've returned it. I'm going to buy one now, actually, is my next step, because I think we're going to own one, because it would be better in the long term to own it, then we're not paying out money for leasing. Did do a couple of other things, though, yesterday. Where is it? Where's the statistics? Statistics! Here we go. Have a look at collectibles. I have been round the map, and I have found 12 more collectibles. I have found 12 more. I now have 14 of 20 collectibles on the map. Which means I've got more money now, obviously. And we've got $707,000 in the pounds, euros in the bank account. Honestly, finding collectibles is far better than actually doing farming. It's far better than growing crops and harvesting and that. The collectibles are worth more than any crop. But as a result, I have invested in a new field. I bought this field here for £276,120. I was looking at what other field I could buy. I was thinking about maybe getting this one over here, but they want $389,000 for that. The other option was to go in for the cornfield over here, which is $288,000. And then of course there's the sunflower field, the big sunflower field down here, which is $605,000. That's a lot of money. I've just got to ignore these two fields down here because then they don't have the crops planted on them that I thought was planted on them. I did check, after my last video, and yes, on my Twitch save, these fields have sunflowers on 39 and soybeans on 42, and that's why I was getting confused. So what I'm thinking of doing, I'm thinking of either buying that farmland there for 288, that one there for 389. Can I buy both? Would be the question. If I buy that field, that leaves me with 418. That's going to leave me very short on cash. We might come back to that. Then. That field, because there's nothing on it at the minute, because obviously I did the harvest contract on field 44 to do the sorghum, so that field is not currently spoiling. We now could harvest, technically we could now harvest the corn in field 35. To do that though, I would need a header, would I not? Because I do not have a header for the combine. Okay, let's have a look then. We could get the Diamant 8 header for our current harvester. We could though. We could sell our harvester and lease another one. And the header. Get one that's a little bit bigger. help if I lined up straight, wouldn't it? So yeah, if I'm gonna take this back to the store and swap out, sell this combine. It's a bit slow anyway, let's be fair. If I'm going to be driving around the map doing contracts, harvest contracts, and using my own equipment, I'm going to want a harvester that's got a bit of oomph to it. Put my beacon on as I'm on the road. I've got absolutely nothing against this harvester. It was quite nice using it day one. It's just perhaps a little bit small and a little bit slow. It's mainly the speed for me, if I'm being perfectly honest. I've got no issue with the capacity or the actual working width of the machine. The fact that it only does 12 miles an hour on the road is a bit of a problem. When you're trying to drive around, you're trying to do contracts, it's a little bit restrictive. So I want something that's going to move when it's on the road, basically. And seeing as I've pretty much got rid of all the starting equipment on the farm and I've leased entirely new stuff, we might as well do that with the harvester as well. I use that nice class harvester to do the contracts with. I'm not sure I'm going to lease one of those though. Let's take this to the store firstly. So sell that. Sell that. Sell that. That's going to give us an extra 100 grand. Right, let's go and have a look at harvesters then. What could we lease? Case, axial flow. Case 9250. Right. Let's start with the harvester, basically. Want twins? Standard. Michelin twins? Standard. Trelleborg twins? Standard. Twins? Standard. Twins? Standard. Twins? Standard. BKT? Wide. That's all I can change on that. Right, let's lease that. That's 15 grand. Okay. We're doing corn, so we're going to want a corn header. Right. That is 6 meters. That is 9 meters. Could I get away with a 9 meter header? Wow, don't we have the Capello HS16 anymore in game? The Quasar. Ah, apparently not. Okay. Interesting. go, just in the pipe. That's going to be a bit of a nightmare on when I've got an actual grain header attached, because then when I'm trying to adjust the reel on the grain header, that pipe's going to be adjusting. And it shows the same keybinds. Right, let's go do some corn harvesting then today. With our brand new case axial flow harvester. Rocking the red brand. Who would have thought it? Beacon on. 20 miles per hour. That's what we like to see on the road, isn't it? Just checking how I adjust my cruise control speed. It's amazing that I can drive faster than the maximum speed permitted by cruise control. So yeah, we're going to our new field then. We get to harvest our new field straight away. Very nice. But yeah, I had a bit of a collectibles hunt session yesterday. It was a little bit frustrating, I have to admit, because I kept having the issue with the game crashing. If I went anywhere near the spinnery on the map, I was getting a game crash. So I had to avoid looking anywhere in that area. For the collectibles. And as of yet, I haven't been able to report the crash issue with Giants because I'm having issues accessing their bug tracker. Every time I try to open a new bug report, I'm getting a error from the website saying that there's been too many redirects. So at the moment, I can't send my crash data to Giants for them to have a look at to find out what the problem is. Obviously, I've not installed anything on the map. I've not changed any of the map. I've not done any landscaping, terraforming, anything like that. But weirdly, whenever I go anywhere near the spinnery, I'm getting a crash. So we're staying away from the spinnery at the minute. My case. Get a screenshot for the thumbnail. Again, I've just noticed I'm driving the wrong way around the field, doing my headland. Will I learn? Will I learn, eh? I've still got some sorghum, by the way. I've still got some sorghum to sell. I did take some to the farm shop place and sell a trailer load. I forgot how small my trailer is. My trailer is only 12,000 litre capacity. Compared to the one I was actually using to do the contract with, the one I was using on the contract was much better. It was like 30,000 litres. I might have to think about upgrading my trailer, you know. I think. I don't think 12,000 litre capacity in my trailer is going to cut it. I really don't. see what we can get. I'll probably work up and down once I finish this row. But yeah, nice machine this. Plenty of knobs and doohickeys to play with. There's all my corn filling up. Half full. I'll fetch my trailer in a second to unload. To 60% full. There's a bit of room up here. I've just noticed that on the map. Got a bit of space over here. Could use that for placeables. We could maybe have some animals. Animal pens. We could have greenhouses. We could have bees. Do some beekeeping, couldn't we? Again, some simple little things to help us generate some income. Not whilst we've got a bit of money, instead of maybe chucking it all into fields, maybe we could go down and have a look at maybe chucking in some additional stuff to play with. Possibilities. I tell you what though, the collectible hunt is definitely worth doing, because like I say, finding 12 collectibles and I've got loads of money. You can literally get like 100 grand for 2 collectibles. It's crazy. And there's and unlike Elm Creek or whatever, there's only 20 on this map. You get 50 grand for each collectible. You know? So it's not like you've got to hunt around for hours and hours and hours. And to be honest, most of the collectibles were in this area here. There was a couple around here. There was one over here. There was one over here. There was one down here. There was one in this area down here. There was a couple up round like the castle area and the area here. So it's not like you've got to travel far. Apparently there is a couple around the spinnery area and in this area here. But that was the problem I ran into yesterday. Every time I tried to get into that area, the game was crashing on me, so I can't get those collectibles. So it might be that the six collectibles that I am missing currently are all in the area of death, where the game crashes. So I might not be able to find all 20 collectibles currently on this map, which would be a bit of a shame. But it is what it is. Right. Lovely case harvester. It's nice. I like it. I think it'd be a nice upgrade from the Deutz Fahr, don't you? Admittedly, we're only leasing it, so I could return it today after I finish with it. So we're not paying leasing fees. But yeah, that little area just above the field there. Do something. Could definitely do something in there. Could have a look. Some placeables. See what we've got that can generate us some profit, some money. No, I will not be filling it with government subsidy signs. Before anyone comments in the comment section, no, I will not be putting government subsidy signs in it. I mean, that would definitely generate me income, but I feel that's a little bit cheap. I do feel that's a little bit cheap. Right. There is one thing I've got to do. I've just remembered. I forgot to do it. Ooh, we got weeds. Okay. Right. Okay. So, well, that answers a question I asked it in the previous video as well. Weeds will grow back. If you use the mechanical weeder, the weeds will grow back. So, once again, it looks like our best method of farming, or our best way to keep the weeds, to remove the weeds, is to herbicide spray. I really didn't want to have to buy a sprayer so early in the series, but we may have to get a sprayer. What I am going to do is just quickly swap tractors. I think I put narrows on this, so I can drive on the fields with this tractor. I'm going to let a worker do my combining. I think. Might just give him a quick empty. I'm going to go off to the store. I'm going to buy my fertilizer spreader, my own spreader, ready for doing my fertilizing and stuff. And then I'm going to obviously get a sprayer. I'm going to have to get a sprayer to take care of the weeds. He's finished. Right, I'm going to quickly take this back. I'm going to put it in the silo for now. I am full. Then we're going to go grab this fertilizer spreader from the store. I've got 2 pallets of fertilizer left from my contracts, which should allow me just to finish fertilizing that field, because I forgot to finish fertilizing the field. Basically. Right. So we need to... go grab ourselves a fertilizer spreader, come back, fertilize, then we need to go get the sprayer and do weed killing. It's all go. It's all action packed. Because obviously after we've harvested the corn, we're going to have to get that field re-prepped. Get it ploughed and limed and everything. So, yeah, we need to do that. I believe these are narrow tyres, so these should be crop friendly. I believe I put narrow tyres on this. So, fertilizer spreader. I'm going to grab my handy little one with the narrow tyres. We are going to have these spreading discs. We're going to change that. We're going to remove that. We're not going to have a plate. We're going to buy that. That is 45 grand. Okie dokie. Pipey smoky cokey. So it's no different from the one I've already used, apart from the fact it's got a little bit larger capacity. And when it comes to spreading lime, it will spread lime. This spreader will spread lime at the same distance as the K165, the largest spreader. But it still doesn't spread it as far as it spreads fertilizer, so fertilizer spreading is still very wide, but the lime a lot less. So yeah, I need to finish spreading. I need to finish fertilizer spreading my field, where we and if you're new to the series and wondering why I have to fertilize this field. Why half the field is fertilised and half isn't. It's because when I fertilised it, I started off working behind the spader. I had the, no, not the spader, the stone collector. The stone collector was collecting stones on the field. And I was working behind him. So the stone collector was going along, collecting the stones and cultivating the soil. And then it got to the point where I overtook him with the fertiliser spreader. So then the stone picker was going over where I fertilised, collecting the stones and cultivating. What that meant was the area where the stone collector changed the soil after I had fertilised when I came to do my seeding, the seeder was able to put down fertilizer because there was a clear, there'd been a change of field state, change of ground state between me putting fertilizer with this and then the seeder coming along and putting fertilizer down. However, the area that I fertilized following the stone collector, there was no change. I fertilized after the stone collector. There was no further action taken on the field. So when the seeder came along to do the seeding, it didn't apply any fertilizer. So that is why my field, if I turn off the weeds, was like fully fertilized on one half and only single fertilized on the other. So I'm just correcting that now, and then, like I say, we will come back and we'll sort out the weed issue next. Now, is it me, or has this field been harvested? They've withered. Ooh. Ooh. Potatoes have withered. That's interesting. Because that means potentially I could buy that field. I didn't want to harvest potatoes because A, it takes ages, B, the machinery's very expensive, and C, potatoes don't really pay that much money. So I was like, yeah, I'm not really interested in buying a field with potatoes on it. But now that the fact that potatoes have withered, I can buy the field and just plough it, plough in the withered potatoes, and then I'm free to put my own crop on it. So yeah, that's another option we now have to expand. Let me zoom in. Got to take my foot off the accelerator to do that. My guy's changing gear. Right, we want a sprayer. I think I'm going to get a trailed one. They tend to be slightly larger capacity than the direct attach. The direct attach works well if you've got the front mounted extension tank. But because I've got obviously front weight on this, I can't use the extension tank. So I think for capacity and need to refill less, let's go for sprayer. See, that's only 1,200 litres. That's 4,500. Working width. We might as well have an even 30. Might as well have Michelin's. I'm going to take the license plate off again. I don't bother with the license plate. And that's going to be 63,500. You know what? I'm going to buy one of them. We can use it for fertilising contracts as well. So we can do twice as many fertilising contracts now. Because I can use the spreader and I can use this. So I could have the workers helping me. I could have a worker driving one whilst I'm driving the other. Oh, we're going to need some, while I'm here, duh, we're going to need some herbicide. Oh, I can't buy multiple pallets of herbicide. That seems like that seems a bit of a mistrick there, Giants. We can buy multiple pallets of other things. Why can't I buy multiple IBCs? Right. Let's go do some spraying. I haven't checked on the combine in a bit either. He's probably full. Chuck this bad boy into high range, 4th gear, and get back to the farm pretty quick. Might as well spray all the fields, including the grass. Can't imagine it's going to take very long with a 30-metre spreader. Looks to me like keep putting it in neutral. Yeah, they've definitely they've definitely made the sprayers slower in FS22. Sprayers used to be a lot faster at spraying fields. Oh, I'll tell you what I've just noticed as well on this sprayer. The sprayer bit on the back moves independently of the tank unit. It's like it's articulated. That's a bit... I wondered why it was being a bit funny when I was trying to reverse it back near the hayloft. I've only just noticed that when you're turning, the tractor turns, the tank turns, but the wheels and that kind of stay where they are for a minute or two. That's a bit of a new... That wasn't on sprayers last year. Look, there's a hinge in the middle of my sprayer. Okay, that makes the turning circle lower. For definite. But that's going to make life a little bit more difficult. Oh, I'll tell you what. We may end up replacing this tractor, folks, because I don't like the fact I can't zoom in and out whilst I'm driving it to give you better views. So I think manual gearbox tractors are going to have to go. For the purpose of Let's Plays, I might not be able to use manual gearbox tractors, folks. Because I can't zoom the camera in and out with my controller, which I'm playing with. I think that's all the weeds dealt with. Turn the weeds back on. One field is sprayed. Right, got to do field 41 next. But we need to check on Mr. Combine, who has, as predicted, has got stuck. Didn't take the tractor back to the field, did I? We'll get the corn harvested. Doo-doo. Does it unload faster if I give it some revs? If I rev the engine, does that help it unload faster? Look like it. Right, let me harvest this bit. Yeah, I've not checked on corn pricing to see if now's a good time to sell corn. There's 3 places that accept it. And now is not the best time to accept. December. We need to keep it for a couple. We need to keep the corn in the silo for a couple of months then, if we're going to sell the corn. Right. So those are things to bear in mind. Unlike in Farming Simulator 19, where pretty much as soon as you harvest a crop, you went and sold it. You know, you sold it as you were harvesting it. With the whole seasons mechanic, sometimes your crop won't be at its most profitable for a couple of months after you've harvested. So you might actually have to store your crop for a little while before you can get the best price for it. So that's what we're going to do with the corn. We're going to keep the corn in the silo. I think, if I remember right, the sorghum should be pretty decent priced. That's on the increase. See, 644 at Le Jardin des Fermiers Farm Shop. The other option I've got is I could take whatever I've got left, which is 30,000 litres. I could take that 30,000 litres and I could put it in a train and send it off the map, which would get me 907. Okay, I've got to pay I'll be paying $1,000 to rent the train, but I'll be getting an extra $200 for the, you know, so if I've got 30,000 litres, you know, that's an extra, you know, 30,000 litres times 200. Well, 30 times 200. That's like, you know, an extra 600. No, an extra 6,000, isn't it? An extra 6,000 for the crop. Less 1,000 for renting the train. I'd make an extra £5 profit. I'd make an extra £5 from selling my sorghum if I send it off map. See, now I'm thinking selling it to the grain mill and selling it to the farm shop, selling a trailer load to the farm shop and a trailer load to the mill was not the best strategy in the world, because that's 24,000 litres that I've sold fairly cheaply. You know, if I'd sent 54,000 litres off map, you know, 54 times $200. You know, that's an extra 10 grand I could have made from selling my sorghum. Economics. So yeah, we'll hang on to the corn for the time being. We'll get our right, we will we'll carry on with our weeding exercise, shall we? I can if I can reverse without hitting my bunker. And then I'm going to do the grass, I think, field as well. I mean, a sprayer is not a bad investment, as a rule. Because we'll also be able to use it for spraying contracts as well, not just fertilising. So that will open up another door for us to make some income. So investing in this machinery is not just for my benefit, it's also for the benefit of, you know, potentially the whole map. You know, if I start pimping myself out as, like, you know, master weed killer extraordinaire. We'll get the weeds removed from my fields, and like I say, now we know using the mechanical weeder, as in Farming Simulator 19, does not prevent weed growth. We probably won't ever use a mechanical weeder again. We'll probably just spray our fields to kill weeds. You know? Whilst mechanical weeding is free after you've bought the machine, because you don't need any chemicals or anything, it seems a bit of a waste of time if it doesn't prevent the weeds coming back. And if I'm going to play with weeds on, which I am going to for the time being in this series, I don't want to spend the whole series removing weeds from fields, so we're just going to stick to spraying, because that definitely kills the weeds and prevents them from growing back until you've harvested the field and reset it. So yeah, in future Let's Play series in future series I might turn weeds off and disable weeds, because it doesn't look like the weed mechanic's been improved at all in FS19. So therefore, again, I just think it's not adding anything constructive. It's not adding anything constructive. It wouldn't be so bad if it was implemented, the weeds were implemented the way the Seasons mod implemented them, where they only appeared in patches. And that was a little bit more manageable, because if you only had a few patches on your field, a mechanical weeder was perfect for just removing a couple of patches as they popped up. Obviously, if you got a serious weed infestation, then you'd want to spray. But the way Giants implement weeds, where they just blanket cover your field, you might as well, you're better off just spraying. You really are. I think Giants dropped the ball there. They should have implemented the patchy weed growth from Seasons mod into the vanilla game. I think it would have been better. I think I missed some bits there. Yeah, I've missed a couple of little bits, look. Tell you what, this rear steering axle thing is a little bit awkward to get used to. It's a bit weird. Again, it's been a long time since I've used a sprayer like this in the game, in Farm Sim, because again, pretty much in all the later part of my FS19 life cycle, the latter half of my time producing content for Farm Sim 19, I used self-propelled rideable sprayers. I didn't use these tow jobbies. Looks like I've missed some, missed a little bit of grass seeding. Missed a little bit. With my seeder. I could pretty much spray this field in one go, I think. in 2 passes. I don't know if weeds do grow on grass this year, this game. I didn't get any on this field, but I'm now doing preventative weeding anyway, so I think I'm done. Right, let's go back to the combine. See how he's getting on. Pop this over here. Right, he's ready to unload then. And he stopped with the pipe on the correct side of the crop this time. Although I'm nearly full, so I'm not going to get that much out of him. Yeah, I think a bigger trailer upgrade is going to be required. I mean, I don't mind this trailer for some smaller carting. Like if I had animals and I was needing to feed animals, this would be ideal for transporting animal food and straw and things like that. But I think for transporting crop, we need to get something bigger. So that's probably on my to-do list. Especially if I plan to sell that 30,000 litres of sorghum we've got. Dude's not moved. Is he not going to move till he's completely empty? That would be a bit annoying. I suppose it makes sense. You probably realised if I'd got to the end of the field, turned around and started going up the next row, I'd have been full and he wouldn't have been able to empty me. So I might as well just sit here and wait for him to come back. Yeah, I guess the AI worker's got a little bit of brains there. There we go. Right, we'll stash this and then we'll bring the empty trailer back to the field. I'll then carry on, get the harvest completed. And we'll see you in the next episode, everybody, when I decide what I'm going to be doing with that field next. Whether we're going to do any contracts. Oh yeah, that's a great idea, Mr. Carr. Give way to the vehicles already on the main road at a junction, especially when you're crossing the lane of traffic. Anyway, folks, sorry about that little rant at the AI driver, but I hate flipping bad drivers in real life and in video games. I will see you all in the next episode. Thank you for watching today's video. Please make sure you've clicked that like button for me. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you're not already doing so, and enable your notification bell. Leave your comments in the comment section down below. Share the video wherever you see fit with whoever you see fit. And take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Goodbye for now.